doing, no more.
Okay.
The rest of it ought to go on the house. The rest of it ought to go on the house. So this $150,000 you're putting on something else. How much is in that account?
So that's what we get basically at the end of the year. A lot of it comes from bonuses.
Uh-huh. So yeah, but you're putting 15% away, and then you said in addition to that, you're investing $150,000.
Well, that's just what we have in cash saved at the end of every year.
Where is it?
High yield savings.
How much is in that account?
About $70,000 right now.
70? How did 150 turn into 70?
So at the end of every year, it'll be about 150,000.
So you just stockpile it until the end of the year, and then you decide what you're going to do with it.
Well, at the end of last year, it was 150. How's it 70 now?
So we just moved last year, so we put a good chunk of money down into the house.
Oh.
But we just kind of accumulate, and then year-end bonuses.
Okay.
And
any money above 15% should immediately go in the house.
Okay.
Not in savings.
Okay. And nothing like diversified in other types of stocks or mutual funds or anything like retirement?
No.
You're already investing your 15%.
Now, you want to know why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the data tells us it's the fastest way for you to be a millionaire. We did the largest study of millionaires ever done at Ramsey, 10,167 of them. And the typical millionaire in their first $1 to $5 million of net worth sounds like this. It took them 12 to 17 years from the time they started getting serious about getting out of debt and building wealth to get there. They paid off their house in 11.2 years on average, and here's what their portfolio looks like. Let's say they've got $1.6 million in net worth. They've got a $700,000 paid-for house and $900,000 in their 401ks and or other investments. But the paid-for house and the fully funded for the 15% going into the 401k is what we found every time. Every time. We did not meet millionaires that said, we kept a mortgage and that caused us to have great investing and that made us millionaires. Nope. They got rid of the mortgage like it was a cancer, because it is.
Most people don't struggle with money because they can't do math. They struggle because they don't stick to a plan. And when your bank makes your money feel confusing or hard to track, plans fall apart fast. And that's why I love Fairwinds Credit Union and their mobile app. Because let's face it, most banks build systems that make it easy to swipe and hard to stay organized. But with the Fairwinds app, you open it and you know exactly what to do. No clicking through 11 menus just to move your own money. Just tap, transfer, and done. You can deposit a check from your couch by taking a picture. You can get real-time alerts so you're not guessing what's in your account. And you can add your Ramsey Be Weird debit card to Apple Pay and tap to check out. See, a lot of banks leverage convenience to make it easier to go into debt, but Fairwinds offers convenience to help you stay in control. It's a huge difference. That's banking that actually supports the baby steps instead of working against them. So if you want to bank someplace that's both faster and wiser, check out Fairwinds. Go to fairwinds.org/Ramsey. That's fairwinds.org/Ramsey. Insured by the NCUA.
Welcome back to the Ramsey Show in the Fairwinds Credit Union studio. Jade Washaw, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host. Joy is in Los Angeles. Hi, Joy. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Hi, Jade. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Yeah, we are recently debt-free, except for our mortgage.
Good.
And I wonder, and I'm thinking if I could afford to go to Europe to watch Wimbledon. I really love watching tennis, and I really want to do it. But then my husband and I were talking last night, and when he saw like how much we're going to spend, it's only going to be me and my son, and he's like, oh, that's a little too much. It's going to, delay our baby step number 3.
So you don't have any money saved?
We do have money saved, but then it's I will take the money from there, and so it's gonna delay our.
Okay, so
baby
you have an
anniversary.
emergency fund saved of how much?
We have 15,000.
Okay, and how much do you need in your emergency fund?
For the trip.
No, how much does the
$9,000.
the 3 to 6 months of expenses?
Oh, sorry. Oh, 24,000.
That's the target. And your household income
Yes,
is
that's
what?
the target. We make about $320,000, or sometimes $350 if my husband goes in overtime.
Wow.
How much does the Wimbledon trip cost?
Well, the tickets are about $1,000 for my son and I, and
The whole trip?
when we were,
that's the ticket.
yeah, the whole trip.
No, you're not
no.
going to London and buying a Wimbledon ticket for $2,000.
I'm talking about when you price this whole deal out, the tickets, the airfare, the hotel, how much will it cost?
So the total is 9,000.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's
So
cool.
the airfare alone, because of what's happening, it's about $4,000.
Listen, I'm not mad at the number. I just wanted to get to it. And my question is, with the $320,000 income, and when do you have to have the $9,000 by?
So we have the $9,000 already.
No, you don't.
You
No, you don't.
You have
We do have
15
it.
of 24,
We have
so
15,
you
yeah.
don't have $9,000.
You're let's clarify real quick. The definition of the emergency fund is for emergencies. Wimbledon is not an emergency,
Yes.
so you can't say I have $15,000 for Wimbledon. You don't. You have $0 towards Wimbledon. My question and what I'm trying to solve for you is how quickly can we get the $9,000 on a $320,000 income and still make progress towards baby step 3? Because the next question I have for you is the $23,000 that's your goal. Is that 3 months of expenses or 6 months of expenses?
That's going to be 3.5 expenses.
Okay. So I go back to my first question. I want you to have 3 months of expenses in order for this to even be something for you to consider. And then you would have to pay the $9,000 cash on top of that, not
Right.
out of that, on top of that. Does that make sense?
Okay, so what do you guys have planned in the next 2 months that you can take off of your calendar and cut your budget to bare bones
Yeah.
in order to finish the emergency fund? Because, Wimbledon's in June, and so you've got
July.
time. July, you've got time.
Yes.
And so I think you can probably, if you went to Scorched Earth, Jade's point is you probably can do both. You can finish the emergency fund and come up with the money to go. It looks to me like you can because your income is so fabulous.
Yeah.
So, work extras. Have you got anything you can sell that you'd like to get rid of to cause this to happen? Have you got, but I'm going to take everything out of the budget and go Scorched Earth to be able to do this trip if it's what you want to do. Here's what I won't do. I won't declare a trip to Europe an emergency.
No.
It's not an emergency.
No.
Okay, I wish it was, but it's not. I could declare some things I want an emergency, but they're not emergencies. And so I have to, at some point, I've got to categorize these things properly and say one is a wish, a want, a dream, and one is a necessity. Being ready for Murphy, if it can go wrong, it will, is paramount for families to get ahead. And you guys have been making good money and been broke for a long time, and you finally gotten yourself out of debt, and you're finally saving money for the first time in your lives, probably.
And let's talk specifically about why it's important. Dave just hit on the part that this is your emergency fund. You need it in case, emergencies arise. But I do believe that when you're in an income situation like you, it's very easy to get lazy and very kind of like, oh, it's okay.
I can afford it.
I can afford it. I can cover it. If something pops up, we'll just cash flow it.
Nope.
You've got to guard against that, especially because you have a higher income. And that's the part where I think,
Agreed.
You got
Agreed.
to be extra careful.
So, folks, here's the thing. If you have no money, none, that's not her situation. But if you're sitting there with no money saved because you did stuff like this, and not her situation, not picking on her, but have you ever noticed that when you're super broke, your life looks like a country song? Like everything that can go wrong will? It's like you have a tractor beam You know, it's like beep, 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 beep. If it can go wrong, it will. You know, it's like crap breaks.